Oh man, what a fire day today. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Got a wireless microphone. I'm lit. Yo, they just dropped Orange Clip. What's good, what's good, what's good? Orange Clip 3. Boom. We locked, we in here. DJI microphones, you fuck with it? Yeah, come on. I got the new mic, you know what I'm saying? It's stupid. Yeah. Orange Clip out right now. Hold on. Gotta do some content today. Orange Clip is out. Orange Clip 3. Man, I was playing around with it earlier. I'm fucking with this record. So check it out. I got this song by King Bimo. A song by King Bimo and Bradatonia. And my brother Nico. I'm also playing around with this thing. Alright, so let's just start from mix, bust, everything off. This record is out, by the way. This record is called Beat the Brakes. I'll play it for you so you see what's going on. This is the King Bimo. That's a record I did called Beat the Brakes. It's already out. So I figured since I know the record that I can play around with this Orange Clip with it. Let me play the song. Let me play the song for you. Give me a second. Should we get audio straight in there? And I'ma beat the brakes off that. Alright. Let's see some.
You know I want it, don't play. Why when you ask, I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a
love my pussy, but just leave my hoes OD. Got a crib, I can stay. Said she charge for that pussy a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, got that coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
ass too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a bitch. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got it better on her knees, sucking dick. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. 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 Yeah. Gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why when you ask, I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a
love my pussy, but just leave my hoes OD. Got a crib, I can stay. Said she charge for that pussy a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, got that coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a vibey record. Got this session here. Took everything off the master bus. Let's see what's going on. We're gonna play with some Schwab. It's a Schwab Digital. Let's check this out, man. First of all, let's see if there's a video for this thing out. Let's go to their website. See what's going on here. With this Orange Clip 3. Let's check this out. Let's get it. 10 hours ago. Let's get right. Let's watch this together.
I'm Ryan Schwab of Schwab Digital, and this is a deep dive technical overview of Orange Clip 3. Orange Clip 3 combines the legendary character of a classic clipper with advanced multi-band signal flow. Its layered parallel design and independently bypassable clippers provides for unmatched versatility. From subtle scalpel-like soft clipping to hatchet-style over-the-top clipping, Orange Clip 3 pushes the boundaries of what a multi-band clipper can achieve. The first thing we're going to do is an overview of the default state of the plugin. On the left side, we have an input meter, and on the right side, we have an output meter. Above the input meter, we have a max clip readout, which basically tells us how much clipping the plugin is doing at any time. If I push this input up by 1 dB, that means I'm going to be doing 1 dB of clipping. Click this once to reset, option click to return the trim fader to 0. One detail to note here is that the input trim shows up on the meter. So if I add input gain, that input gain will be represented on the input meter. The input trim goes from 0 to positive 12 dB or negative 12 dB, and by default, the input trim is linked to the output trim. So if you add 1 dB of input, you're going to get negative 1 dB of output.
Which makes mad sense.
For some reason I didn't want Unity pass-through, I would click the trim link above the transfer function and deactivate it. Now my input is unlinked to my output. When my inputs and outputs are linked, I can also do trim link offset. There's a few key commands for that. There's the shift drag, and then there's the shift option click. If I shift drag, it momentarily unlinks the input and output trim, and now I have an offset of 1 dB. If I shift option click it, it relinks them and sets them back to a Unity pass-through. Above the output meter, we have an infinite peak hold, and you can click it once to reset. In the middle, we have a transfer function, which is a true algorithmic representation of what's happening to the audio. So when our orange is set to hardening, we have a hard transfer to 0 or into clipping. And then as we bring that down closer to negative 51.8, you can see how the transfer curve turns into a softer knee style of clipping. The main clipper's transfer function is directly related to the input ceiling. If I pull this ceiling all the way down, you can see this ball is bouncing way past the clip point. This is essentially moving the clip point down and away from 0. So as this ceiling line goes down, the bouncing ball is going to go further into the transfer function. Now I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about orange processing. This is a variable knee clipper. It goes from hard clipping to soft clipping, as I described when I was talking about the transfer function. But the sound of this clipper is really, really unique. You'll notice that it's negative 4.4 by default. That's a medium knee clipper. Medium knee clipping works really well in many situations. Let's just take a minute to listen to medium, soft, and hard, and just kind of get a feel for the sound of orange clip.
Drop it.
You can hear how when it's in medium knee, it's the most middle ground sound. It doesn't sound overly bitey or aggressive, and it doesn't sound overly round and smooth. When I went all the way down to negative 51.8, it gets very round and it kind of loses its urgency or kind of bite. When I go all the way to 0.0 full hard knee, that's when it gets really aggressive and snappy. Some work in different situations. I like when, if I'm putting it on 808s, to put it really, really round, to kind of round them out and make them really bubbly sounding. Or if I'm working on edgy drums, I'll go all the way up to 0 or just below there to kind of get that snap and that crack out of the drums. After the orange clipper, the signal goes to the true parallel mixer. True parallel mixer is pretty much exactly like every other mix blend you've seen on any other plugin, but it gives you the ability to unlink the dry and wet. The reason that unlinking the dry and wet is so important to me is because I like to do bottom-up clipping, bottom-up distortion, and bottom-up processing in a lot of my mixes. What does that mean? It means I can unlink the dry wet, I can push the dry signal all the way to 0.0 dBFS or 100% dry, and then I can clip the signal and bring in the wet signal from the bottom up, not affecting the dry signal that's passing through the plugin. Let's take a listen.
Drop it.
So that's not affecting the
Hold on,
purely
that's
dry
type 5
signal
only.
passing
Go
through.
back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Pretty much exactly like
back, go
every
back, go
other
back, go
mix
back.
blend you've seen on any other plugin, but it gives you the ability to unlink the dry and wet. The reason that unlinking the dry and wet is so important to me is because I like to do bottom-up clipping, bottom-up distortion, and bottom-up processing in a lot of my mixes. What does that mean? It means I can unlink the dry wet, I can push the dry signal all the way to 0.0 dBFS or 100% dry, and then I can clip the signal and bring in the wet signal from the bottom up, not affecting the dry signal that's passing through the plugin. Let's take a listen. So that's not affecting the purely dry signal passing through. But I'm adding in
Mac was good. Mac was good.
heavily
We studying
distorted
today.
signal from the bottom up.
We got this plugin Inspire orange clip.
The effect of that is that it's not necessarily altering the transients and the punch of the dry signal. It's kind of filling in the gaps with some dirt and some ugliness, which I particularly like sometimes. So the signal flow when in whole band mode is pretty simple. We have the input trim showing up on the input meter. Then the clip ceiling determines where the clip point is and how much clipping is going to happen in relation to what we set on the input trim and the input meter. Then that mixed signal goes to the true parallel mixer, and then the output of the true parallel mixer goes to the output trim and the output meter. Simple. However, if we want to go deeper, we can turn on multi-band mode. One thing you'll notice is this new footer across the plugin. On the footer, you'll see we have direct access to the oversampling on off and the different types of oversampling, linear phase or minimal phase. And also we have multi-band on off with the different types of multi-band filtering technology. This is the Schwab Digital Linear Phase Filter Bank. We spent about a year developing it. It is the most efficient filter bank that I've found. It means it doesn't impact your CPU very much at all. It's very low latency considering that it is a linear phase processor. And we have two different settings. We have true linear and we have Q linear. When we're in true linear mode, this is a linear phase that's much like other linear phase processors, but again, it's extremely CPU efficient and very low latency considering that it's a linear phase processor. It sounds amazing and its sum is true to the input signal.
It's a
Q
clipper, but
linear
now
is
they
a very
got
interesting
they
type
got a
of linear phase
multi-band
technology
clippers, so
because at
now
the
they can split the
crossover points,
frequency
it has
range
equal
in 3.
but opposite phase rotation.
And then
So
clip
the
them separately.
summation of it is purely linear phase, but the actual type of filtering is slightly different. This results in a type of filter that is maybe slightly more transient excitable, but has a bit of more phase nuance in it as the signals get louder and quieter between the bands. What I would consider this is more analog style linear phase, while true linear is a true linear phase filter. We now put those options on a toggle. With one single click, you can go between Q linear and true linear, and with one single click, you can go between minimum phase and linear phase. Additionally, we put the real-time and offline oversampling settings in the footer. Now you can click once, set the oversampling real-time, click offline, set the offline settings, click, and you're out. All with less clicks and a streamlined experience. When in multi-band mode, the first thing you're going to notice is these multi-band meters.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
these meters
fire,
have
it's
an
fire.
infinite peak hold light. These are really important to how we set the ceiling for the individual band clippers. If we want to set the amount of clipping per band, we can take our ceiling target circle and we can pull it down until we reach that peak hold meter. I'm going to do that for all 3 bands. And now I have essentially 0 dB of clipping per band, but the signal's going right up to the clip point. Now, if I want to solo the low frequency clipper, I can hold down Control while it's playing and drag the ceiling circle around. Let go of the Control key and I'm back in stereo. Same with all of them. This is a momentary solo. It allows you to jump into solo really quickly while you're working, so you don't have to migrate somewhere else in the plugin, push solo, and go back. You can just jump into solo by holding down the Control key. This will be true for all.
That's bad helpful. I'm not gonna hold you. That's super helpful. Can't wait to have fun with this, especially with these records that have like this uncontrollable low bass. You know, you can control it in other ways, but to have a limiter and have some separate control over it with this plugin is kind of helpful.
All of my plugins moving forward. Now, if I want to reset the infinite hole peak meters, I can just click them twice and reset them, and they're gone, and they update with the next playback. Additionally, what you'll notice is as the ceiling target circle goes down, you'll see that the meter turns orange above it, showing how much clipping that we're doing to that band. Now, above the ceiling target circles, we have solo buttons, and you might wonder, what's the point of a solo button if I can momentarily solo with a control click? What's the point of a solo button that's dedicated? Well, what we can do is we have individual solo buttons that switch on and off in an XOR fashion, or I can shift click the solo buttons, and now we're just monitoring the mid and high bands. This opens up creative possibilities when we are trying to do parallel processing with a true parallel mixer. Above each solo, we have a dry wet link per band. This is what makes Orange Clip really, really special. We now have traditional dry wet per band going into a true parallel mixer. That layered bit of parallel.
Well, that's funny. It's funny that you said that, because that's why I like Orange Clip Mac, is because I feel like FL Studio has their own sound. They have their own limiter. They have their own maximizer on there. When you take it off, it don't sound the same. If you take it off and stem everything out and bring it into Pro Tools and try to bring the levels back up or try to glue it together, it doesn't sound like how it does in FL. But this plugin was designed to sound a lot like the FL plugin. Like it was meant to designed to sound like that limiter maximizer in FL Studio. So this is supposed to be a solution to allow you in some type of way, you know, in FL to stem things out and bring it back into Pro Tools and still get that feel, that the glue and the clipping and the distortion from FL Studio. It's supposed to bring that FL Studio sound over to other programs. But a lot of times I do like when producers, I'll tell them to stem it out and send it to me, and then give me the 2-track of how they have it, because sometimes the 2-track the way that they have it sounds good, and a lot of these producers, they know how to make their things sound good, and a lot of their techniques are within FL Studio, like certain plugins within FL Studio, the clippers for like the individual drums and things that producers are making things using to make things sound loud and slappy. They're tools within FL. So, you know, a lot of people, I say, give me both. Give me your mix of how you do it in FL, and then give me the stems, and then I'll see what's up, you know. But that's the beauty of this plugin. It's supposed to sound like that FL clipper.
Parallel processing opens up so many creative options. In this situation, if I pull this down to 0, we're 100% dry, and if I push this up to 100, we are 100% wet. Moving up here to the top, we have the 3 orange knobs. These are the exact same process as the main orange clipper, but what's also special, in addition to parallel processing, we can now command click any of the clippers and turn them all off. Now in this state, Orange Clip is essentially 100% in bypass. There's no distortion and clipping going on. Input signals going to output signal. Having Orange Clip set up in this modular clipping fashion opens up a lot of different possibilities. In between the orange knobs, we have the crossover points, which go from 50 Hertz to 1 kilohertz and 1.5 kilohertz to 15 kilohertz. This is enough flexibility to split bands up, to isolate bands, and do some creative band-specific blended processing. Above the orange knobs, we have post gain, and what I love about this is it's like a fader on a DAW. They go from negative infinity to positive 12. So now you can essentially redistribute the energy between the 3-band split in any way that you like. There's also some key commands to post gain. If I bring this up to 7.1 and I option click it, it drops it back to 0, just as you'd expect. Another thing is, if I hold down shift, I can link all the post gains up, and those
there's a lot you can do in FL. I'm not gonna hold you, Mac. Yeah, you could put, it's like mad individual clipping that you do in FL that a lot of producers are doing to get their drums to sound beefy and powerful. I say, I don't know, it just sounds fire, regardless.
Post gains are feeding into the input meter. Let's take a look.
Drop it.
haven't even dived into the creative possibilities here, but you can imagine how much power is in this post gain with it linking, the oranges with them linking, per band blending, per band momentary soloing, bypassing clippers, bypassing the main clipper and just clipping an independent band in the middle. Creative possibilities are endless. This turns Orange Clip from a traditional clipper to a multi-band parallel processing powerhouse. You can do so many wild and weird and exciting things with this plugin. I love it. All right, let's do some audio examples. I have drums, bass, and music going into a mix, and I have Orange Clip on the mix right here. Let's just listen to what that sounds like.
Drop it.
So you can see I'm squeezing this a little bit, doing about 2.2 dB of whole band clipping. This is the traditional state of Orange Clip. Nothing fancy going on here, but let's go into individual instruments and see what happens there. So you'll see that my peak holds are right around here on -10. I'm going to take my ceiling circle and I'm going to bring it down right here. My ceiling target circles, I'm going to put those right in the center of those peak hold meters, right? Those peak hold meters are infinite. They'll stay there forever until I double click them and reset them. Now I'm getting just a little bit of clipping in the amount of wave shaping that I'm doing with the individual band orange knobs. Generally what I do is if I want to do a lot of clipping, I put the infinite peak hold at the top of the circle. And if I want to do no clipping, I put the peak hold light at the bottom of the circle. Then I'm just doing wave shaping for that band. Now remember, I'm doing 3-band clipping. That's summing together.
Or check that out. Check what they're doing right now. The drums
here, and I'm doing about 2.2 dB of clipping on the whole band clipper. Off. Now I took the low band, made it really, really round. I'm going to put this up to 100%. I'm going to drop this down to 50. And I'm going to push up the gain on the low band. Off. Cool. We can get some pretty wild shapes.
That's crazy. And that's crazy. It does sound like FL in this way. Like when... Like the wave shaping is really fire. Touching your eardrum. I'm telling you, I'm liking what they got going on. It's fire, it's creative, it's technical. Come on.
I want to move on to bass. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm just using the low frequency band. The low frequency band is fully round. I bypass the mid band and the high band and the main clipper. And what I'm doing is just wave shaping from 80 Hertz and down. This is aggressive wave shaping. Clipping, I'm doing about 6 dB there of clipping. Still sounds great. If I wanted to turn on the whole band clipper and do some softer wave shaping on top of that. Add in the music. What I'm doing on the music bus is I'm soloing the mid band, clipping it heavily, and then blending it in with the parallel mixer. Let's just listen to the wet signal of the mid-band clipper.
I'm telling you, it sounds fire.
Now I'm gonna take that and blend it in with the dry signal. Bypass. And then all together. All orange clips off. All orange clips on.
Come on, that sounds incredible. That sounds really good.
As you can see, there is an unlimited amount of creative possibilities with this plugin. I've used it on vocals, I've used it on drums, I've used it as a final plugin before a limiter. It's really quick to use and you can make drastic decisions with a lot of precision. And I'm really excited for this plugin to be in the world. So thank you all so much for listening to this. Till next time.
Okay, that was heat. I want to try it out. Let's see what's going on. Beat the brakes. I'm going to open up this session again and find out what's going on. Give it a second. Yeah, yo, it sounds, bro, it sounds great. I'm not going to hold you. It sounds really good. I'm about to check it out and see what's going on. All right, I'm gonna load up my Pro Tools session. Meanwhile,
I'm Ryan Schwab with Schwab Digital, and this is a deep dive tech.
Schwab Digital. Shout out to Ryan Schwab. Shout out to Schwab Digital, man. You guys are making some super heat, and this multi-band clipper is super crazy. It's very creative. It just opens the door for a whole lot of creative experimentation, saturation tools, tone shaping, wave shaping tools. It's crazy. You know, Bishop was good. You know, I'm on my geek shit today. We was watching this breakdown of this crazy plugin. There's some geek shit to us, but to y'all, just know it means that some incredible music is gonna be made. We just get better tools. What I really like about this company too is like, bro, I was able to upgrade from the plugin that I got. Like he was here for Platinum for AES, Ryan, and he spoke to us about his philosophy when it comes to being a plugin designer. And his idea is that our plugin should evolve and grow, in opposed to making a whole bunch of new tools and continuously making new tools, which is cool. But to take some of the really dope tools and spend a lot of time and effort developing them and allowing them to grow with the audio community, and I think that's sick. You know, that's a really dope approach. It makes it easy for me too. I open up my sessions and I can just try new things out with Orange Clip that, you know, in a session where I already have Orange Clip in there, I could just open it up and try some new features. And it allows for the audio community to give feedback, for changes and updates to be made, and for that information to and the resources to trickle down to everybody else. I think that's fire. That's dope. So I'm really appreciative of what they did there at Schwabe. I said keep saying Schwabe. Schwab, my brother. I appreciate you. It's the E. Hold on. Let me open this Pro Tools session up. Will was good. I haven't seen you in some time. Years and years and years. My brother. Let me open this up, see what's going on here. All right, I think that's powerful. We're gonna open up a session and see what we can do in here. And see what we can do in here. So Mac, I think this is fire for you. This is also for like the Ableton users. I'm telling you, like sometimes FL just has a certain sound to it, and Ableton is so flexible. And there's mad tools in Ableton too, like things that just sound good in there. Incredible stuff. FL got a sound, so being able to take some of the sound from FL and bring it over into Ableton in a way is fire. Yo, in my opinion, I feel like FL dropped the ball. They should have just made plugins of all their stuff and dropped them and released them. Everybody would have bought all of them. They had to figure it out, but shout outs to Ryan Schwab for figuring it out. All right, let's see what's going on here.
I know I turned to
Love my booty, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poopy feet. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga. We got that coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me.
Man, I know a couple people producing in Pro Tools and they doing their thing. Listen, I like Ableton and FL Studio for production, but yeah, yo, yeah, I feel like FL something dropped of theirs. I forgot what it was, but if they would let some of their tools go, they can make some money from them. I'm telling you. But here we are, multi-band processing. Let's get it. I'm going straight to multi-band mode. Let's get it rocking.
You know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to it.
Love my booty, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poopy feet. I tell her put it in my.
Hold on, y'all can hear the Pro Tools, right? First of all, can you hear me, right? Cause I got this wireless, I got this lavalier mic. Trying something new. Let me know how it sounds. I got Pro Tools coming in there. Let me know if Pro Tools sounds good. If something sounds strange, just keep me in the loop. Let me know.
You know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's know I turn to it.
A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga. We got that coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. You know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to it.
Love my booty, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poopy feet. I tell her put it in my face.
Alright, so off rip, super fire. First thing I did off rip was take that low end and just distort it. I just want to hear what it will sound like, just me crunching this low end on this whole master and then mixing it in. I love that sound. It sounds really, really good. That's fire. I'm shaping it, playing around with the tools. Word, facts. All right, hold on, wait, time out. Let's start from Skrizatch. So what was he talking about in this video? He was talking about multi-band, and there's so many tools for you to mix things in and distort and do creative stuff. I was like, all right, first things first, I'm gonna clip my low end. So I took this, I put the threshold down on this low end until I held control to turn it into temporary solo, and I brought it down until it was crunching. And then I mixed the original signal back in. I turned this wet dry knob down, and that's what's going on. Let's try it out.
You know I want it, don't play.
Stay.
Dog, don't tell me that don't sound like FL. That clip sounds like FL. I'm telling you, sounds like FL to me. Right, and now I'm gonna mix it in. Mix the original back in. I decided to stay right there.
Put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know.
Right, and then we got the wave shapers. We got the wave shapers for the individual frequencies, the individual bands. So we got a wave shaper for the low end band. And what it's doing is, on the way to the threshold, is controlling and clipping. So it's having it's just shaping the waveform in a way that I'm trying to feel and hear. It sounds really, really good.
You know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Say she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a gotta keep a G in the whip. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. You gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play.
I know. That's crack to me. I like how that is. That sounds really, really good. Let me see. I'm going to chain it. I'm going to throw another limiter after that. So you can see what it's doing. Because what it's going to do is, the whole point for a lot of people for using clippers is shaving off voltage. You're shaving off voltage so that your next limiter can perform its job without pumping as much, right? Because we're sending less voltage to the second limiter. We're clipping it in a musical way with the first limiter. And it's distorting. It has some distortion qualities, but it's supposed to sound better. Clipping it in this way. And then bringing it into a limiter afterwards and see what happens. What I want to check right now is the voltage with it off. So I have it off. Look at the voltage, how it's hitting. Let's see what we can do.
You gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Say she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
too fat for a thong.
Right? Now, a lot of times what hits your limiter first is going to be low-end transient information, right? Because low information is hard to hear, so, you know, low-end, low frequencies, a lot of times they have, they're stronger, like the signals are stronger, just so that we can hear them, because it's harder for us to hear those frequencies. So it ends up triggering our thresholds for our limiters and our compressors a lot of times before the other frequency or frequential content. So let's see if I can use Orange Clip as a multi-band clipper for us to tame the low end and see how much voltage we can buy, how much voltage we can achieve by shaving it down in a way that still sounds musical but controls voltage. Let's see what's going on.
You gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Say she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a gotta keep a G, you know.
First of all, you see this right here, this little clip symbol, 4 dBs. That's just letting you know that we're clipping. Like, it's like 4 dBs of clipping that we achieving. That's voltage. 4 dBs less of voltage that's gonna hit our second limiter. So we might be able to push this even further and still be musical, maybe. If that's what we wanna do, you know, let's try it out.
You gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Say she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a gotta keep a G in the whip. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the the brakes off that.
Alright, I'm going to tell you where to check out. Look over here. I'm going to tell you to check out the gain reduction area of this L2. When I bypass this, you're going to see all that energy, all that voltage flood into this L2, and you're going to hear the L2 have a little bit of a harder time because it's going to be working harder. Like, this clipper is allowing this plugin to work less hard. So let's see what happens when I bypass it and make the ProWell work hard again.
You know I wanna don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charged for that poop your feet. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall of
you know I wanna don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib.
Right? So I'm going to play it again, and midway, I'm going to put this orange clip in.
you know I wanna don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charged for that poop your feet. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a gotta keep a G, you know it. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Don't gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charged for that poop your feet. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
That's fire to me. That's fire to me. That's sick. That's sick.
Coming for me, right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a gotta keep a G, you know it. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that.
Oh yeah, that's fire. That's 5 dBs of clipping. For it to sound like that, that's really, really, really good.
Coming for me, right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do. Gotta keep a G, you know it. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Don't gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turned to a
love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charged for that poop your feet. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall.
I'm just curious how it would sound like going through vocals, like vocals. Orange clip on vocals. What would that sound like? I'm curious.
Coming for me, right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a gotta keep a G, you know it. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not love, just so I'ma beat the brakes off brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Yeah. Don't gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baddie on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Yeah. Don't gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baddie on her knees. Even when I'm.
Yo, the Clipper is fire. The Clipper is fire. This is heat. This is good for my Ableton users. I might use this just as my vocal limiter, just to put a limiter on my vocal so I don't get random voltage spikes popping off of my vocal bus going into my mix bus. I like the tone shaping capabilities. I like what it's doing to that 808. I'm liking this thing right here. Polo Paul was good. How sound, Polo? You can hear me? I got this mic on me right here. Got a lavalier on. But yo, loving this orange clip. I'm jacking it. I got it on vocals right now. I put it on the whole mix.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baddie on her knees.
You see what's going on when I bypass it? When I'm bypassing it, this limiter is working super hard. Because remember, we pushed this limiter. This allowed me to push this limiter this strong. So now without this clipper, this limiter is overworking. And limiters and clippers have their own benefits. Like each one has its own benefit over the other. So like limiters, they pump. They sound more pumpy than clippers do. The clippers may distort, but they sound more transparent. So now with all this level reaching this limiter and this limiter working super hard, every time that 808 or that kick hits, is fucking dying.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baddie on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just so.
You can see it too. Like you can see the limiter letting go of basically is low end information triggering it mostly. So I have this on here. This here I'm taming it and then I'm blending the clip I'm doing there. And then I'm also dropped the ceiling. I'm getting like 5 dBs of headroom on my way into this limiter. It allowed me to push the limiter stronger.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baddie on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just so I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Yeah. Don't gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a.
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah. Day.
You know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, thinking nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, just a heads up, that record is out. That record is out. That's my brother BMO. That record is out. But I'm loving this Orange Clip 3. I'm jacking Orange Clip 3. It's fire.
Right, you know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
too fat for a thong.
Oh shit, Raina. Oh hell yeah, you need a. This record is crack. This record is King BMO, Brad Atonia, and Nico. Kaneko Knight. My brother Nico, who's an incredible singer, incredible writer. Let me play from the jump. This tool right here also, man, Raina, I already see you. You kill it, especially since you've been Ableton. You really jack this plugin. It's dope. It's a plugin by Schwab Digital, and it sounds like the limiter maximizer from FL Studio. It's fire, and you could take this sound and use it in other DAWs. I'm loving it. But on top of that, they just created, they just dropped some new features for it where you can go multi-band. So you can treat your low end, your mid band, and your high band and limit them and clip them separately and blend them in. You have mix and dry knobs, and you can distort it. You can do all types of cool stuff. So let me show you something. I'm gonna play it from the jump.
You gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, thinking nasty. I know I turned to a
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baddie on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just
girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. 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 Yeah. You gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, thinking nasty. Let's spread your legs, thinking nasty. I know I turned to a.
Love my pussy, but really my hoes OD. Got a crib I can stay. Said she charge for that poop, be a fee. I tell her put it in my face. Tell my baddie to fuck up the sheets. A waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got her coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Crazy. Come on. It's fire. It's fire. It sounds great. Hey, what's going on? We live streaming. I'll be done in a few. Okay. Where you at? Okay, I'll find you. It's fire. You should. You know Brad will be with that shit. And BMO will be with it. And Nico. Do you know either of them? Brad, Nico, BMO? You should, because they really outside in the city. I like what BMO is doing, because he's with the Slizzies too. He got his own sound. It's fire. This is like an R&B-ish type project, but he still got pain in there. Brad is just sick. Like, sick. They doing a lot with Blockwork TV, and this is an incredible platform, and Nico's just a super fire writer. Oh, it's sick over here. I was just testing out a plugin. I'm testing out this Orange Clip update that just dropped. Yeah, it's fire. I'll play it again. Oh, let me just show you some stuff I'm doing with this Orange Clip with the 808 so you can hear it. Because I'm distorting the 808s with this clipper, and then I'm blending it in. And the clipper sounds like FL Studio when you super slam your limiter in FL, and that grit that comes with your 808s. People use it all the time. And now I think we got it in the sound.
Got the sheets, a waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got it coming for me, right?
So check this out. So I got it like this. When I drop this down, it's gonna just start clipping it, which is gonna distort it. But it got that sound. I'm telling you, it got that FL. Let me check this out. What's good, dog? I'm streaming right now, but I'm here. But check that out. You hear that? You know what I mean? And I can blend that back in. You hear it subtle, and then unsolo.
Waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got it coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
That's fire to me.
Got the sheets.
I like that. I could imagine you just throwing this just only on certain sources, using it for drum processing, clipping certain things, doing all types of stuff. It's fire. I'm jacking multi-band clipping from Schwab. Schwab, killing it. I'm play it again. This is going to allow you to get louder mixers because now you can hit your limiter afterwards a little harder. It's sick. To save 5 dBs of headroom. 5 dB is a lot. And when you take this out and send those 5 dBs into this plugin, this plugin is having a harder time working without it.
Got the sheets, a waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got it coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong.
Got the sheets, a waterfall, I tell her spray.
Here's where I really wanted to hear it, where you hear that boom, 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 boom. It's like consistent kicks, consistent 808s. Like each kick is triggering the hell out of the Pro L and is making it work super hard for a longer duration for lower frequencies. So having this joint beforehand to help tame that on the way into here is allowing this to handle it better and breathe better. Check this out. Without it, listen to those kicks.
Got the sheets, a waterfall, I tell her spray. You know I'm a fat nigga, we got it coming for me. Right on my stomach where she lay. Okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what. Too fat for a thong.
Lay, okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it peak.
There's a lot of pumping going on there. So then I take this off, hit it again.
Lay, okay, yeah.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got it better on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just
Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. 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 Yeah. Don't gotta ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Let's spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a
Love my pussy, but leave my hoes OD. Got a crib, I can stay. Said she charged for that poop, be a fee. I tell her, put it in my face. Tell my baddie to.
Hell yeah, let me show that again. Let me show y'all that again, dog. I got this Go orange clip plugin, Schwab Digital. I'm using this plugin to help save some headroom later. This is doing like 5 dBs of clipping over here, allowing for my next plugin over here, my limiter, to work a lot less hard. Repeat that shit.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baby on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just
Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. 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 You're gonna ask, you know I want it, don't play. Why would you ask? I'm on your body all day. Now spread your legs, make it nasty. I know I turn to a trick.
Alright, peep that. That's fire. That's fire.
back for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baby on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just
Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that.
Without it, hear it pump.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baby on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just
Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that.
When you throw it on, you're saving some headroom, clipping like 5 dBs.
Too fat for a thong. She took me to the crib and she let me do what I want. Gotta keep it P with a. Gotta keep a G in the whip. Got a baby on her knees. Even when I'm broke, I'm a dog. It's not luck, just
Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that. Girl, I'ma beat the brakes off that.